What's up, everyone? Zach here, bringing another Team Taste video. You want to taste? Today, I'm bringing you my VikaBulu tournament report. Yeah, but went to a tournament today, Gamers Gauntlet League Cup. I think there was like 25, 26 players, something along those lines. So, pretty small compared to the normal ones I've been hitting up lately. But it was a nice change of pace. Nice playing 5 rounds instead of 7. So, but a couple other League Cups in Michigan going on, and I know some more going on in Ohio. So, lots of spread out competition going on. But we'll get right into the deck. First, we got 3 Grubbin, standard VikaBulus. You know. Then we got 1 Charge Bug. I decided to play 4 candies instead of the 2 Charge Bug, 3 candies. It just seemed a little more consistent to get out the Vikavolt turn 2. And then 3 Vikavolts. Pretty standard stuff. Then we got 3 Tapu Bulus, the heart of the deck right here. 3 Tapu Leles, important to hit, all that fun stuff. 1 Tapu Koko promo. I was just playing 2, but 1 just kind of seems okay right now, but I switched the other one for Tapu Koko GX. Now, this does a few different things. Being able to use his arrow trail ability to get into the active is sometimes nice when you don't have a float stone for like your grubbin. Did that early a few times. And Sky High Claws just his first attack, 1 hits Ho-Ohs all day with the lightning weakness. And Tapu Thunder can just take knockouts out of nowhere against like Guardy if you say like Tapu Bulu, Nature's Judgment, discard all your energy, and they load up to try and knock out your Bulu, and you just come back with a Tapu Thunder. So that can be really good. I don't think I would change anything with this. I think it's perfect how it is. The supporters, we got 3 Professor Sycamores. Then we got 3 different art ends, because, you know, I'm cool. And 3 Skyless. This is something that people kind of disagree on, it seems. I really like the high count of Skyless to get out the Vikavolt. Usually all you need out is like a Vikavolt and a Bulu, and you're good to go. So I like the 3 count late game. It can find your energy recyclers. It can find your choice band. It can find the heavy ball. It's just, I think, all around great. And then we got 2 Guzmas. I'd really want a 3rd one, but I'm not sure where I'm going to find the cut yet. I really like the 3 of all these. I'd feel like I'd be missing them if I cut down to like 2 Sycamore or 2 Skyla. But it seemed on average I would only Guzma once a game because I'd throw away a different one or couldn't find it or it was prized or something. So 3rd one would be nice. And then we got 2 Bridgets, which maybe that would be the 3rd Guzma, but I feel like if you don't hit turn 1 Bridget, usually then you can just kind of fall behind and lose. But I really like the 2 Bridget. It helped late game once in a while. You need to find a Bulu or something, and you just so happen to have Bridget. So not the worst in the world to draw and do it late, but I don't know. I like it. 2 Bridgets. There's that argument going on a lot, but it's just so vital to hit turn 1, and it doubles your chance of starting with it, so that's really nice. Now onto the items. We got 4 Ultra Ball, pretty standard, and then we got 4 rare candies. I really like the 4 candies. You kind of have to, not worry is the right word, but be mindful of Espeon EX with the de-evolve. So usually I would try to get 1 Grubbin out and rare candy it up as quick as possible and then evolve another one up into a Charge Bug. But even if you de-evolve it, if they don't have the 70 damage on the Grubbin, it's not the end of the world. You can just rare candy again. So I think I like that 4 count. That's going to stay the same. And then we got 3 Choice Bands. I don't play any Fury Belts. Fury Belts were really good against Rourke. It made it so they couldn't foul play, knock you out, and just some other funky stuff like straight Volcanion. The fighting or Fury Belts were better, but I'm just so afraid of people being able to field blower and take the 4 prize turn. So I like Choice Bands. It makes numbers so much better. Gardevoir, one shot, Gliscod, Ninetales, be able to tap a Wilderness for 180. There's just so much going on with the Choice Bands to afford to play Fury Belts. And then if you do like a 2-1 split, then you never find the one that you want. So I don't know. I like the 3 Choice Bands. And then we got 2 Float Stones. I don't like the switches. I feel like float stones are a little more permanent. Um, I don't know, not much to say about it. Sometimes it sucks when you want to get your Bulu out, but I think it's worth it. And then we got 2 heavy balls. Heavy balls, you got to find your Bulus and your VikaVolts and the Charge Bug mostly. So usually it's mostly just to get the turn 2 VikaVolt, but late game hitting into a Bulu, it's nice, or just anytime really, actually. But I kind of want a Nest Ball in that like line, but again, I just don't see where I could find a cut that actually mattered or wouldn't matter. Then we got 2 energy recyclers. One's really not enough anymore, especially now that you don't have Brox and VS Seeker. So you could do 1 energy recycler, 1 Brox grip, but I think the 3 Skylas is better. The Skyla finds energy recycler anyway, so I don't know. It's kind of nice. 2 field blower, pretty standard. Knock off the belts. You can hit a lot of things for perfect numbers. The 180, the 1 or 210, just stuff like, even some people are trying to make dumbbells work, and the field blower just completely negates that. So I like that 2 count. Blown off Garbotoxin, which is really important. Not seeing as much play, but still, when you come across it, you want to be able to get rid of it. And then 1 rescue stretcher, being able to get back something or shuffle in. I only remember playing it a few times today, but just being able to have that recovery is real nice, especially if you have a bad Sycamore or something. Like if you Sycamore away 2 VikaVolts, sometimes you just need to get those back in the deck. And then energy line, just standard, 7 grass and 5 lightning. Ooh, that's obnoxious. Oh well, let's get say it like that. I think that number's perfect. There was times where I prized like 2 lightning and I could only strong charge once because I only had a lightning in play, and but those are the risks sometimes. I like the 7-5. I think that seems perfect numbers. Wouldn't change that up at all. But yeah, pretty standard VikaBulu list. I really think the choice bands are necessary. I just kind of, you set up and swing so hard. Like, you got the constant damage, you got the healing with Bulu, you have the 120 that you can do with the Nature's Judgment. You can set up multiple Bulus and be like, yo, come at me. There was times where I was down to 2 prizes with 2 fully loaded Bulus on the field, so there's really nothing that they could do. Getting right into the tournament report. So, like I said, I think 25 Masters, something like that. And we, round 1, played up against Espeon Garbodor. And it seemed like a pretty standard list. Seemed like it was kind of just built for last season. And he just really couldn't get anything going. He Sycamored away like Espeon twice because he couldn't find the EVs, and his Garbotoxin was prized. So kind of just kept rolling with VikaVolt. Got VikaVolt out early and just kind of kept going. One shot the... No, I think I missed the choice band on the Espeon the one time, and he confused me, and I just... Guzma'd out of it, but pretty straightforward match. Sometimes the confusion can get kind of tricky, but with Guzma, it's kind of a non-factor nowadays. Round 2, played against Drampagarb. Seemed kind of the same thing, kind of like the old school build. Had Potowns in it, but he didn't get one down until late. He had a big wheel that wasn't really that... Like, he big wheeled and then could only play a couple cards from his hand. So that gave me the time to set up. I think that was the game where I started with 3 Skylas in hand, and I'm like, oh boy, what's gonna happen? I'm like, I can Sycamore, and because I also had a Sycamore, but I started grubbing, and then I top decked the Bulu, so I'm like, okay, I'm not getting Donk, so let's just get another grubbing down because he's threatening the Berserk on it. And so I Skyla for an Ultra Ball, get another grubbing down, and then he ends up big wheeling that turn, and I think my hand consisted of Sycamore, Rare Candy, and like that was about it. So, and I top decked the VikaVolt. I'm like, okay, that's cool. So I Rare Candied up into the VikaVolt and Sycamored and got everything I need. I think I knocked out the Drampa that turn, so kind of just went on to win from there. I kept like less than 5-6 items in the discard the whole time, so his Trash Lantry couldn't do anything. And then he took his like third and fourth prize, and finally found his Garbodor were hiding in the prizes too. So kind of unfortunate for him, but worked out for me. And then round 3, went up against Chris Szymanski, and he was playing Ho Salazzle, and I'm pretty confident in that matchup. And I win the coin flip first time of the day, so I'm like, that's pretty cool. I get a turn 1 Bridget, and that's what I did. Turn 1 Bridget, and I was chilling with Guzma in hand and a rare candy. So I'm like, oh man, if I could top deck the Heavy Ball or the VikaVolt, if he Kawais, I can just knock out that Ho-Oh. And I had the Choice Band on the Bulu already. I don't think he played a Field Blower. It seemed like maybe they just didn't play, maybe it just hit in the deck, but I never saw it. And turn 1 Kiawe's to a Ho, and I top decked the VikaVolt. I'm like, oh, that's convenient. Rare Candy, Strong Charge, and Guzma out the Ho-Oh and one-shot it with Nature's Judgment. I was like, okay, that's, cool. So then his turn, he lays for a Kiawe, and Kiawe's to another Ho-Oh. And then I started Tapu Koko GX, so I still had him on the field. And I had another, I think from prizes, I took Guzma. So I'm like, that's cool. And end up strong charging to Coco. And he's like, oh, do you have the Guzma? And I'm like, play down the Guzma. He's like, yep, we're done here. And so I just took the win in the 3 turns. And that's kind of how Ho-Oh Salazzle goes. They have to take that turn to get the Kiawe. And if they can't disrupt your VikaVolts, if they can't knock them out because there's no Hex anymore, which is great. If they can't knock out those VikaVolts, and you kind of just steal the win pretty quickly usually. Then, so I'm 3-0 going into round 4, and there's only 3 3-0s, and I'm lucky to get paired up against the other 3-0, so we just ID my good friend Harrison. And then round 4, we had it all figured out that all 3-1-1s would make it, except one. And some tournaments nowadays, they're posting the standings before the final round just so you can see where your resistance and to make informed ID decisions. And I kind of like it. It's kind of interesting. Definitely saved someone, or almost saved someone. There's the guy who was chilling at 39 opponents win percentage, so he knew he had to play it out at 3-1. But he played against another 3-1 that was in a good spot, so he ended up losing that, which was kind of unfortunate. But even if he ID'd, he would have got 9, so not much of a difference. And so I ID'd my last round with Josh Frink and coasted on into top 8, which it was relaxing, getting a couple an hour to myself. Went over to the party store, all that fun stuff. So going into top 8, I got matched up against Ho-Oh Salazzle, or no, not Ho-Oh Salazzle, just Salazzle. It was a spicy Salazzle Lurantis list, the Lurantis promo. And the thought of the deck was the Salazzle hits 110 for the 2 energy, and then the Choice Band is 140, and then the Lurantis is 160, and then the baby Salazzle that poisons and burns, that would push it up to 190. So he could theoretically one hit everything in my deck. And he just kind of had a rough go. Game 1, he mulliganed 4 times, and I was going first, and I ended up getting the, Bridget off the mulligans, and then got the VikaVolt turn 2 and hit the Choice Bands to knock out the Salazzles when I needed. He used Salazzle's GX attack, which removes all energy, which was pretty cool from a Bulu at one point. So that kind of sucked, but then I top decked the energy, so I just was getting everything I needed today. And then game 2 was kind of more the same thing. He started with 2 Salandits, and I knocked one out turn 2, or my turn 2, and then it was just unfortunate for him. So took that series 2-0. Really spicy deck though. I think there's something there, but I feel like it needs a secondary attacker of some sort. Relying on your Salandits to evolve up is kind of sketchy sometimes. Then my top 4 played against Alex Szymanski, playing, I'm guessing, the same 60 as Chris was. So I was feeling pretty confident, and I started off real slow. Game 1, I think I took my first 7 cards, 5 of which were energy, and I had 1 Grubbin, and he mulliganed, which got me a Lele, and I went first. I don't know, got the Bridget, I know. And he ended up ending me out of a pretty bad hand, so I was pretty excited for that. But he ended up going up 3 prizes to none. And then I finally got my VikaVolt online because he kept killing my poor Grubbins. Finally got my VikaVolt online and just kind of won from there. He couldn't afford to take it out or couldn't hit the Guzmas or something. So I ended up taking a close game 1. Game 2 also wasn't looking so hot for me right away, but he didn't really have anything going either. Turn 2, he ends us both to 6, and he later told me it was 5 fire and an elixir, and he ended up hitting the elixir too. So from that end, I kind of like, he took prizes after that, but never could get going after that. So Sky High Claws did work that game. I love my Tapu Koko. And yep, another 2-0. Still haven't dropped a game, so that was nice. Then in the finals, played against my friend Harrison that I ID'd earlier with, and shout out to Team Taste North. He was playing Ninetales and he just won a close mirror. It was like a really back and forth, like 60-minute time, like went to time game, and he won on turn 3, and it was a pretty good game watching. So played against Ninetales, and the matchup used to be close when Bulu played more Fighting Fury belts, but I think with the 3 choice bands, the matchup just hugely swings into my favor. Being able to one-shot the Ninetales just is huge, and he has to have the choice band to knock me out or have some Coco spread. And he was playing the Espeon, but I was putting so much pressure on that every time he had the chance to Espeon de-evolve me, I'm like, well, I got 2 Bulus out, so not really much you can do right there. I kind of got sketched game 2. Like, game 1 was pretty standard. He flying flipped a few too many times, I think, and couldn't really get the Ninetales set up. But game 2, he got me in a tricky spot where I still had a Guzma left in deck and a Float Stone, but he was trapped a VikaVolt out, and I had no energy left, and he was bench sniping my Bulu, and then I finally top decked the Guzma for the game. So that was pretty good. But it was a good series. Always great playing against him. That was the first time I beat him in the finals. I lost 2 straight League Cups in the finals against him before, so it was pretty nice to finally get that W. But yeah, that's about it. I think I'm going to be playing this deck moving forward. Last format, I said I hated Bulu and I was never going to play it again, and it was a bad deck, and I still stand by that for that format. But the whole like John Roberts no VS Seekers, I think he was onto something before. Obviously, he's like the mastermind behind this like no VS Seeker build, basically. High Scholars, I think he played like 2 Sycamore or something like that, but yes, it was always cool. It just it does really well against most of the field. It has a sketchy Gardevoir matchup, but I still don't think it's bad as long as you can get the VikaVolt out, and if you get a Flying Flip, the Flying Flip and a Choice Banded Bulu just knocks out a Gardevoir. And if you Nature's Judgment, discard all your energy, it forces them to either 2-shot you or overextend, and if they overextend, then you can get cool Coco kills. And I don't know. There was a Metagross in Top Cut, Frank, and I really didn't want to see him, so I was glad I avoided him. But it's winnable against Metagross, but you have to like play it completely differently. You use your VikaVolt. You can usually snag tap with Thunder Knockout. You spread the damage around and hope they don't max potion off the 60 damage, which they need to, or even 40 damage sometimes. And use the Lele's, but you can't really afford to attack with the Bulus. The Metagrosses do not one-shot the VikaVolt, so getting 2 attacks off with the VikaVolt can be really good. But yeah, that's about it. Now I'm just rambling. So more content to come out this week, so hopefully get some website stuff done and all that fun stuff. So follow us on Facebook. Got a Facebook page, posting deck list up there like as soon as we get all this done. Facebook, Twitter, I tweet updates, all that Twitter funness. Yeah, at Team Taste TCG. Try to make it easy. Yeah, but thanks for watching, everyone. Later.